What defines a curse word? If somebody were
Vulgar.
Right, but if somebody were to go ahead and take a regular word and replace it, there's a lot of people that do that, like drat, for example. Drat, people say drat, D-R-A-T, drat, like, or shoot.
Okay.
So they say that instead of cursing, actually. Yeah, that's people say it. People say it.
What is that? What does it even stand? Don't tell me what it stands for, but I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just.
Okay. So if somebody, it's cursing mamash.
Okay.
Using filthy language mamash, not the acronym of it, not something that is implying it's mamash using a filthy word, using filthy language. That Rabbi Ephraim writes in Echtov Yisrael, a Perek Bet, that uses a Gemara to prove it. Someone that uses vulgar language could lose all of the blessings that was decreed on him. Meaning, even if they decreed in Shamayim that he's going to get 70 years of blessings, a single curse word can make him lose all of those blessings and get 70 years of curses instead. Meaning, in Shamayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates it. And the reason why is because this mouth is supposed to say the name of Hashem. How could we be saying the name of Hashem, the holy name of Hashem, and a curse word at the same time?
The intention is to replace. The intention is technically also vulgar as well, because you're taking that word and you're making it into something that is completely different, but for you, it's basically a curse word, not for everybody else.
Right.
So socially, the question is, does Hashem really care socially what other people think about, or is really the curse word the problem with the intention? Obviously, socially, Hashem doesn't care, because Hashem doesn't. I mean, it wouldn't make sense that Hashem would care about social cues in English language.
No, here's the thing. Hashem does care what people think, as strange as that sounds. And the reason why is because there is something called a marita ayin, which is something looks like something, therefore it implies something. So if, let's say, for example, all of you were hiding in the bushes, all of you, and I was included in, hiding with you for a little while, and then I left. And then you saw just an average, regular guy, happens to be Jewish, but none of you know him personally, but you know he's Jewish. You saw him walking to a McDonald's. Well, I saw him walking to McDonald's. Some of you will think, I guess the guy doesn't eat kosher. Guess doesn't eat kosher. Or maybe he went to the bathroom. But most of the time you're going to think, I guess he doesn't eat kosher. He's an average guy. On the other hand, if you saw me, chas v'shalom, or any rabbi, walk into a McDonald's, immediately, you're going to think either the food in this McDonald's is kosher, or the rabbi is not kosher. You're never going to think he's going to the bathroom. Why? Because I look a certain way, I represent Hashem in a certain way, and therefore I have a certain responsibility that goes along with it. So Hashem does care about what society thinks, because it leads us to think certain things. Now, you are supposed to give someone that has given people a reason to show that he's a kosher person, you are obligated to give them kaf zchut. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says you're obligated to give a kosher person kaf zchut, meaning the benefit of the doubt, that even if something that they're doing looks strange, you have to find a way to make it look kosher. But if someone doesn't have the merit, you don't have to do that. Now, the Gemara says that one time there was a guy that worked for someone for a few years, and at the end of a few years he said, okay, I need the money. I need to go back to my family, man, I need the money. And he says, I don't have the money. Now the guy works for him, he sees this guy has enough cattle to start a whole city. He says, you don't have any money, but no, I don't have any money. But the cattle, I don't have any money. He says, but okay, so don't give me cattle. Give me, what about the rugs? You have some fancy rugs. I cleaned for you. I don't have any money. He says, okay, well, anything, any cash, nothing? Nothing. Okay. Sometime he leaves without any money. And sometime later, a month or two later, the boss shows up at his house, gives him a bunch of money. He says, oh, thank you very much. So the boss tells him, listen, when I told you I don't have any money, and you saw all of my cattle over there, what did you think? I said, I thought that you probably don't have those cattle really. You probably took all those cattle and you donated them to the Beit HaMikdash. He says, that's exactly what I did. What you thought is what I did. And he says, well, what about when I told you I don't have any of the rugs and the property that I saw? He said, I figured that you probably put all of the houses and property that you had on some type of collateral for something. He said, exactly. That's exactly what I did. And he said, well, what about all the cash that you knew I had? He said, I figured it probably wasn't yours. You really had to give it back to somebody. He goes, exactly. Everything you said exactly is what happened. And what about what I told you? I didn't even have anything, any way to make money. He said, I figured that you probably, now that you don't have any money, and all your money was donated and everything else, you probably were looking for a job to figure out a way to pay me. He goes, that's exactly what I've been doing over the last couple of months. You gave me the benefit of the doubt, and you were right. Point is, Rabotai Karim, is that sometimes a person is a kosher person, you have to give him a benefit of the doubt. But, truth be told, most people don't give anybody benefit of the doubt. You see somebody doing something wrong, you already say, see, I knew it, he's a liar, he's a cheater, his father's a liar too. I remember there was a story about his grandmother also, they were all liars, and so on and so forth. No one gives people the benefit of the doubt. So we have to take all of that into consideration and watch our actions. So that means that even though your word that you're going to use in New York doesn't mean very much. The F word, for example, in New York is common language. Common language. I remember on Wall Street, it was every second word. If you did it every fifth word, you're already religious. Every sentence that came out. Why? It's common language over there. But there's going to be somebody that's a southerner, that comes from North Carolina, that comes from some civilized place. He's going to hear you say the F word. He's going to hear you say the A word. He's going to hear you say one of these filthy words, and he's going to say, ooh, that's unlike you. I didn't know you speak that way. So what does that mean? It's still a curse word, regardless of what the few people that are around you think. Generally speaking, it's a curse word. You have to refrain from doing it. Is it the same level of punishment from one or the other? We don't know the details of Cheshbonot Shamayim, of if you say it next to your best friend that speaks like a truck driver just like you, if it's the same magnitude as if you speak next to the rabbi. No, obviously I don't know the details of Cheshbonot Shamayim, how Hashem is going to judge it, but needless to say, you should clean your mouth. Needless to say, you have to watch your speech, because it's not good to use that language anyway. You don't want to speak that way, you're not going to want your kids to speak that way, and trust me when I tell you, when you go up to Shamayim and you watch the movie of your life, you're not going to be very proud of those moments where they catch you speaking that way, even if it's just a joke. Because they're not going to find it funny one way or the other in Shamayim. Point bito is that you have to watch your mouth and you have to work on it. It's very hard. I had to go through a major rehab myself to change my language. Not that I had to go to some facility. I had to work on myself. How do you work on yourself? Study a lot of Torah. If you learn a lot of Torah, you're going to increase your vocabulary extensively. You're going to increase your vocabulary with biblical words that will replace that language. It's the only way to do it. You have to replace the words.
The intention does matter then.
Everything matters.
Okay. But if there
Intention
is
matters,
no
but
intention,
also what people understand matters.
but if there is no intention, like you said in New York, for example, where they say the F word all the time,
Right.
but they're not really, it's just
They don't
common
mean it that
language.
way.
But right, but let's replace that. Let's say Wall Street, all of a sudden everybody starts saying a random word, and they change that word, and that word now is a curse word.
They just made up, they decided that Google means the F word now.
In a sense, yes.
In a sense. I don't believe that unless this is widely accepted and not like within a clique, of people, a group of people, meaning something that's widely accepted as a curse. Meaning that if you go to other places, they know that this is a curse also. Like it doesn't mean, F word in New York, but in the rest of the world it means Google. Still. Meaning it has to be generally accepted to be a curse word, then yes, it's a curse word. But if it just means that to just a small group of people, then no.
To that group of people, it could be a curse word, right?
To that group of people, yeah, it would be a curse word. But nonetheless, again, this is playing with the intricate details of fire. Is it you're going to be burned with red fire or green fire? Who cares? I don't want to be burned at all. It says there's 7 different types of fires. Do you care which one you're going to be burned in? No, you don't want to be burned at all. So that's the point. The point is to try to clean our mouth to the extent where no matter who we're speaking with, whether it's a boss, a customer, your parents, or Hashem himself, it's acceptable. That's the way you should speak. You should speak in an acceptable way. You should look acceptable because you are a representative of a Kadosh Baruch Hu at all times, whether you like it or not. You don't have to be a rabbi to be a representative of Hashem. Just the fact that you were born Jewish or you converted into Judaism, that makes you a representative of Hashem, whether you like it or not. That's why the Gemara in Masechet Avodah Zarah says, what does it mean when somebody's desecrates Shabbat befaresia, meaning public sin? What if 10 people really need to see this guy? Well, if 10 people see the guy drive on Shabbat, that means he's a public sin? Gemara says no. If 10 people know he sins, 10 Jews know that he smokes on Shabbat, it's or any time, even if he smokes by himself. But everybody knows that he smokes on Shabbat, it's considered, every time he smokes, it's considered as if he's smoking publicly. So it doesn't necessarily need to be that people see you. It just needs to be common knowledge.
Even relatives?
Are they people?
Of course, but
Oh, if he's related to people, then yes, it matters. It's fine. If he's related to dogs, then no. If the dog doesn't count. Halacha doesn't count dogs. But if he's related to people and their relatives, it's their people. Doesn't matter who they are. It's not because again, sometimes they'll have a bias. Your mom is always going to tell you, no, you're innocent, you're a tzaddik. But Hashem is going to tell you, no, even though your mom said you're a tzaddik, in reality, betoch tocha, inside her, she knew you weren't. Your mom is always going to say you're a tzaddik. Your mom's always going to say you're a tzaddikah, but the reality is, she knows you're smoking on Shabbat, she knows you're not a tzaddik.